One of the hardest parts about standing is when your spouse acts like you never existed. Like they turn into a person where they treat you like you ain't ever did nothing for them. They treat you, they take out all of their frustrations on you. Let's talk about it. In Malachi 2:16, the Bible talks about how divorce will literally overwhelm someone with cruelty. Okay, and you do feel like they're being very mean to you and very cruel to you because it's like they're only thinking about themselves. Okay, first thing I want you to identify is when they act like you're a stranger, is that it doesn't matter how much you tell them that you love them and you try to plead your case, they are only thinking about themselves. When it comes to the finances, they are only thinking about themselves. Even when it comes to them paying all the bills, they're still only thinking about themselves because they could be providing financially in one way, but in another way, they're treating you less than you deserve and acting as if you're not a human being. Something that I've dealt with, and I just lived under this realm that I thought that I can say this and talk to them and he can understand, and see my side. I'm telling you, they are only thinking about themselves, okay? I'm here to tell you that their behavior does not erase what God promised you, okay? It does not erase what the Lord has promised you. How they are acting does not mean God is saying walk away. If he has promised you restoration, then restoration will come. Okay, their actions is only being used as a tool to drive you into believing by faith. God requires faith to answer your prayers. So if you're struggling in the faith department, imagine that they're ignoring you and then you get a dream of y'all being back together, or you get a confirmation or somebody tells you, hey, God showed me that y'all are going to get back together. So what are you going to believe? You're going to believe the confirmations. This is a strategy that God does to drive you to have faith. All right. Their free will does not stop what God said he gonna do. Their actions is only the war that's on the inside of them, all right? Especially if they're in judgment, okay? And they begin to take out their lack of peace and everything on you. Now is not the time for you to chase after them. Now is not the time for you to beg them. Now is the time for you to say, you know what, God, I'm going to pull back. You're going to fail at it in the beginning. If you ain't never did this before, and 9 times out of 10 in the beginning, you're going to do everything you feel like you need to do. It's not going to work in your own power. You need God in order for this situation to change. So I know you're like, well, Raven, what do I do in the meantime? What do I do? You keep praying, you keep fasting, because the enemy is using their actions as a weapon against your faith. You got to see it. It all starts in the mind. You got to see it that way. Satan is only using your spouse and their bondage to deflect on you as a weapon to break you down so you do not pray. God will allow this to happen because it might break your heart, but he's going to still say, come on, believe me. Believe in me. This is where your relationship with God is going to grow the most. Rejection is how I began to hear the voice of God for myself. I suffered a lot of rejection. It didn't matter if I was nice. It didn't matter what I was. I just was rejected just for breathing. Okay? So do not allow this behavior to make you feel like the other woman is better or they're happier without you. It don't matter. Can I tell you something? People will use other things to distract them so they do not have to take accountability. People will use other things so that they don't have to see themselves. So that's why they go through multiple women, because they have a trauma on the inside of them. I know it's exhausting. However, the word tells us do not get weary, all right? Believe in what God showed you. Believe that he can do it and never stop praying. Whether you set boundaries, never stop praying. Whether y'all in no contact, never stop praying. Never stop praying, okay? If you did not know, tomorrow is the last day for Severing Her Influence ebook bundle and the Lust Breakthrough ebook bundle. If you don't know, if this is your first time watching me or ever seeing me, this ebook bundle is if your spouse is with another woman and if they have lust. Now, these are two separate offers, all right, but they are in the link in my bio. They come with 2 ebooks, and they teach you how to pray to keep the other woman out and to keep her out and to uproot her up out of here, and lust, to how to live and deal with your spouse if he's lustful, on top of praying that lust up out of their hearts. You are the intercessor. All right, you are the intercessor, and through the warfare, God is raising you up. Okay, so I pray that this has blessed you, and I'll see you in another video.